All right, Sheila, despite the crackdown on imposter scams, consumers are still complaining about the number of ways thieves are angling for their money or identity, especially right around tax time. People say they lost nearly $488 million to imposter scams last year. The median loss per person was about $500.
Yep.
Here to talk about ways to protect yourself is Sandra Guile from the Better Business Bureau. And Sandra, thanks so much for coming in this morning.
You're
we were talking
welcome.
about the Beatles Taxman song. The Beatles says the taxman says you don't work for anybody but me, but that doesn't mean the people who say they're the taxman, right?
Exactly. It's quite the opposite, actually. What we're talking about this morning is what the taxman's not going to do.
Yeah.
And there's two things that they're not going to do. They're not going to call you up saying you owe taxes, you need to pay me, and a prepaid debit card,
yep,
or an iTunes card or an Amazon card or anything like that. The second thing they're not going to do is say, we're going to send the sheriff after you in order to arrest you as well.
And those are two important things to note because they are primary ways that scammers get to people and their money.
Absolutely. And people are saying, well, how can I avoid this? Why are they, why are they targeting me? Think about the number of data breaches that have happened over the last 3-4 years. And it's a matter of swiping your credit card or swiping your debit card at a restaurant, at an ATM, at a gas station or anything like that. Unfortunately, all that information is out there. They pull that information and then they dig a little bit deeper on the internet and they find additional information to get your social security number so that way they can file taxes on your behalf, unfortunately. So then there's that level of security. So the best advice is, if you haven't done so already, pay the taxman. Get your taxes filed early to prevent somebody else from filing on your behalf.
Yeah, I also heard about maybe check your credit report to see if somebody's been fishing around there too.
Absolutely. If you see something funky on your credit report, go ahead and take care of it right now, because you don't want to have to pay that consequence and go through all of that to try to get it off your credit report as well. A lot of credit card companies are doing a fantastic job in letting you know if something is going awry on your credit card statement, but it doesn't hurt to pull that annual credit report once a year to see if there's anything else going on.
You know, there's so much stuff that about us, our personal data, that's already public.
Oh,
it's in the public forum. That should make us even more aware we need to protect our personal data as much as we can, right?
Yeah, and well, I joke that, now that I'm on Facebook, I don't feel so alone, because Facebook's looking out for my best interests.
Yes.
And I say that facetiously. But yeah, social media has a big play in it, and scammers love that information out there because we're talking about our dogs, our kids, our vacations, and everything else. So we need be a little more cognizant on what we're posting and our privacy settings.
Yeah, and we'll do things like posing in front of our house or something like that. It's got our address and all that kind of thing.
Yes.
So I mean, just some things that you may not think about.
Right, absolutely. And it's, it goes back to that Michael Jackson song, or not Michael Jackson, but another song that says somebody's always watching me.
Yes.
That's the kind of mentality we have to say, okay, before I do anything, who's looking at this information?
Okay, and for people who want to get abreast, so maybe the IRS's Dirty Dozen, and to get more information, they can go to the BBS.
You can go to bbb.org and find more information. If you want to report something, go to scamtracker.org.
Yep.
We want to know about it because that's used by a lot of law enforcement agencies. But certainly report it to the IRS. Go to irs.gov and report these incidents ahead of time, so that way they can try to keep track of it too.
All right, thank you, Sandra Guile from the BBB. And this one little admonition: if you have money, somebody's angling to get it. Protect your assets. Let's check our weather. Here's